Well, the Democratic nomination has been plagued by controversy. One erupted just before the convention when a set of emails were leaked suggesting top party officials wanted Clinton to win over Bernie Sanders. Intelligence agencies says there's evidence that Russia was behind the hack. Well, we can get more on this story by Thomas Scotto, who is a political scientist from the University of Strathclyde in the United Kingdom. Welcome to the programme. What do the leaked emails suggest? Do they point towards Russia, and how credible is that?
Well, this cybercrime across the world is growing, and Russia has a very sophisticated operation. The question is it a clear case of Russian cyber terrorism, or is it just being played up by people who perhaps want it to be, this grand sort of linkage between Putin and Trump? So it remains an open question as to whether or not Russia is the culprit. But I think the thing we have to look out for is that the increased incidence of cybercrime is definitely noted throughout the world. And it raises. Sorry, go ahead.
The Republicans will no doubt be rubbing their hands. How is this going to affect the Trump campaign?
Well, I don't think they're necessarily rubbing their hands in glee, because Trump has not necessarily played this very well. You don't invite a foreign power, particularly one with historically has not been on side with the United States in terms of foreign policy, to spy and sort of corrupt the democratic process in the country. So I don't think there are too many Republicans now that are really comfortable with Trump's words. And the big question, of course, now is do they just quietly say nothing, or do they sort of openly condemn the party's standard bearer?
How damaging has it been for the Democrats to have this leak where they're suggesting that officials wanted Clinton to win over Sanders?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's, as someone said, it's not really surprising that a political party has sort of a standard bearer in mind, and internal experts and the elites within that party support that standard bearer, even if they can't do so publicly. I think what people forget is Bernie Sanders was not a member of the Democratic Party. He was in the Senate as an independent. He caucused with the Democrats, but he was sort of always an outsider. And I don't think that the fact that people are backing Hillary Clinton internally or quietly it should come as much of a surprise. And many of these emails were also released after, or the dates of these emails were really after it was pretty clear that Clinton was going to be able to secure a nomination with the aid of superdelegates.
Obama gave a very strong endorsement of Hillary Clinton, saying she's the most qualified candidate to ever run for the White House. Why do you think that is?
Well, she's served in the legislature as a senator from New York. She's held high office. Well, she's held a high appointed office as Secretary of State, which is one of it really stands. Her foreign policy experience stands into stark contrast with Donald Trump's, and I think that's what he was trying to say. That basically, if Hillary has been a private sector lawyer, or Mrs. Clinton's been a private sector lawyer, then she's been First Lady of Arkansas, so she's seen how politics is run in the States, and then she's also been on the international stage as a Secretary of State. For better or for worse, I'm sure there are most people that have, minor things that they disagree with, or even major things that they disagree with, but she has a record in politics, and I think that's what he was trying to bring out, in contrast to Donald Trump, who's never held elected office, and many of his statements are coming across to many of members of the media and the political elite in the United States as unhinged and someone that really doesn't understand the political process.
Okay, Thomas Scotto from the University of Strathclyde. Thank you.